Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but first, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. $6 million budget sack artist could be key for Cowboys defense. When edge rusher Dante Fowler Jr. played for the Dallas Cowboys in 2022 and 2023, he outplayed the $6 million he made over 2 seasons by playing in 34 consecutive regular season games and racking up 10.0 sacks without making a single start. In 2024, Fowler outplayed his one-year, $3.25 million contract with the Washington Commanders by leading the team with 10.5 sacks and helping guide his team to the NFC Championship game. Fowler is now back with the Cowboys for a second stint, this time on a one-year, $6 million contract, and will be a full-time starter in Dallas for the first time. It should force teams to not focus all their attention on stopping NFL All-Pro Micah Parsons, who has yet to play opposite a player with double-digit sacks through his first 4 seasons. It might end up being the key to the Cowboys bouncing back from a 7-10 record in 2024 after going 12-5 in 3 consecutive seasons, including the 2 years with Fowler. Commanders pass rusher Dante Fowler Jr. figures to be one of the more underrated free agents this offseason, Bleacher Report's Christopher Knox wrote before NFL free agency began. Fowler was extremely productive in his latest stop, finishing the 2024 season with 10.5 sacks and 20 quarterback pressures. Teams looking for a budget sack artist this offseason should have Fowler atop their lists. The Commanders were not only unable to bring back Fowler for 2025, they elected to not draft an edge rusher with any of their 5 picks in the 2025 NFL Draft. I'm a little confused by not taking any edge rushers, Barstool Sports PFT commentator and Commander superfan said on Pardon My Take on April 28. That's a position we really need and there's nobody there right now, pretty much. Seeing Fowler go to an NFC East rival in Dallas and have another big year would be a tough pill to swallow for head coach Dan Quinn and general manager Adam Peters. One of the former Cowboys that Quinn lured over from Dallas, the 30-year-old has been impactful as a rotational edge rusher this season, Bleacher Report's Matt Holder wrote on November 27. The Commanders should be looking to get younger on the edge, but Quinn knows what he has in Fowler. Extending an offer before Fowler hits the open market again would be sensible. The last 3 seasons have represented a career renaissance for Fowler, who was the number 3 overall pick by the Jacksonville Jaguars in the 2015 NFL Draft but tore his ACL on the first day of minicamp his rookie season. In Jacksonville, Fowler was illegally fined $700,000 by former head of football operations and 2-time Super Bowl winning head coach Tom Coughlin for missing team-scheduled rehab and doctor's appointments, a voluntary activity Fowler was not required to attend. That incident led to Coughlin's firing. The Jaguars traded Fowler to the Los Angeles Rams midway through the 2018 season. He played his way into a one-year, $12 million contract with the Rams in 2019 and a 3-year, $45 million contract with the Atlanta Falcons in 2020. Following the 2025 season, Fowler will have approximately $74 million in career earnings. Dallas Cowboys Jerry Jones blasted for flaky trade decision. 2024 proved that the Dallas Cowboys have a lot of ground to catch up if they want to compete in the NFC East, let alone the NFC. Even before Dak Prescott's season-ending injury, the core of Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, and Micah Parsons wasn't threatening the Washington Commanders and Philadelphia Eagles, the 2 competitors in the NFC Championship game. Following the all-in embarrassment last season, the Cowboys chose to part ways with head coach Mike McCarthy. On April 22, Jones suggested he wanted to pull off a trade to help out new head coach Brian Schottenheimer. We're looking at 2 things that could happen before or after the draft, Jones said via Nick Harris of the Fort Worth Star-Telegram. 2 pretty substantive trades. Been working on today. The draft finished on April 26. Dallas has not made a trade, and there have been no reports of the Cowboys being close to pulling off a deal in the post-draft trade market. Mike Florio of Pro Football Talk put Jones on blast for leading Cowboys fans on by hinting at a trade that wasn't close to fruition. "It may have been exactly what we thought it was, an attention grab at a time when people were paying attention to things other than the Cowboys," Florio wrote. And it worked. He created a headline, made a stir, and then failed to deliver. Maybe it's still coming. Maybe he'll find the right time to give everyone an update. Even if there's no update. At this point, it makes sense as to most veterans to wait until after June 1st. That will result in a lower cap charge in 2026. Maybe Jones didn't think a trade was necessary after the Cowboys appeared to have had a solid draft, selecting offensive lineman Tyler Booker in the first round. They added much-needed help to the defense on day 2 with defensive end Donovan Ezeruaku and cornerback Siobhan Revel Jr. before taking Texas running back Jaden Blue in round 4. Still, Dallas needs extra playmakers if it wants to contend with a Commanders team that is set to become strong in Jaden Daniels' second season in the league and an Eagles team that is coming off a Super Bowl victory and is reloading for another run. Where's the smoke, Jerry? 3 Cowboys wide receiver trade targets in 2025. With the 2025 NFL Draft behind us, one clear weakness needs fixing in Dallas: the Cowboys wide receiver room. The front office pulled off the same draft surprise as they did in 2024. In both classes, Dallas walked into the draft with wide receiver and running back last year at the top of their lists, just to come out completely empty-handed. With Tetaroa McMillan off the board, the Cowboys passed on their secondary receiver options for Tyler Booker, and they seemingly never liked their options at receiver after that. Dallas can shout from the rooftops that they like their in-house options, but this group is not good enough. It needs to be addressed. Rumors have circulated about potentially signing free agents like Amari Cooper and Keenan Allen, but the Cowboys could find younger, more long-term options on the trade market. They've done it before with Jonathan Mingo and Brandon Cooks, and they could do it again. With that in mind, let's take a look at 3 trade targets that could bolster the Cowboys' wide receiver room on day 1. The Packers, with the 23rd pick, did what many Cowboys fans hoped their team would do: they drafted Texas wide receiver Matthew Golden. It was a surprise to see him fall to Green Bay, but they turned in his card right away when he did. What it means for the rest of their depth chart, however, could provide the Cowboys with an opportunity after all. Christian Watson, Green Bay's 34th overall pick in 2022, will be a free agent after this season. Coming off a dominant collegiate career at North Dakota State, Watson was highly doubted as a deep threat prospect. The Cowboys themselves had a lot of interest in him at the time. Ultimately, it wasn't in the cards then, as Dallas went with Tyler Smith 10 picks ahead of Watson, but with his contract expiring, Golden arriving, and a plateau hit statistically, the Cowboys could pursue him for a second time. Watson is now 4th on the depth chart, and he's got legitimate options breathing down his neck. Rookie Savion Williams, veteran Dontavian Wicks, and free agent addition Mecole Hardman could all knock him down further. He's a consistent 600-plus yard receiver, and with his elite speed and size, could provide the big play threat that Dallas desperately needs, for a fairly low cost. And you, fan? What do you think about Christian Watson's situation? Write to us in the comments.